How's everybody doing today? So there's a couple things I'm not going to really talk much. I think I'm just going to ask you guys questions on this video and see how it goes or how you respond to it. But anyways, some of the concepts or ideas I was thinking in my mind were, sometimes you have to ask yourself questions. So, for instance, where do you see yourself in the universe? Where do you see yourself in your current location, your current job? Where do you see yourself in your family, in your relationships? These are all the types of questions that you want to ask yourself. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where did you see yourself in the past 5 years? Where did you see yourself as a child? If you reflect back on some of these things, like how you felt and what you did and how you approached things as a child, can help you to come to a realization of how you're operating today as an adult. Because a lot of those things transfer, especially from past childhood trauma or the way you were brought up. Maybe you didn't have much childhood trauma, but you were religiously programmed. Like you're brought up in the church, and your parents taught you everything by the Bible and the fears of God and hell and heaven and all that stuff. So it might not have been trauma, but you were held to what you would call to a higher standard based on a religious status. It could even be that. So you want to contemplate on a lot of these things and find out what it is that you're what it is or how you're operating. Do you operate the same way you did as a child as you do now? Are you still immature on certain subjects? I always say, I did a video on childlike wonder. You do have to approach life as a wondrous thing. So the childlike wonder is there. But where are you in your immaturity? You could be still acting immature in certain areas, and sometimes it's not bad, and sometimes it's harmful to you. That's why we got to reflect on ourselves and see what we're doing. And I'm not talking about being serious all the time. That's not what I'm saying. You could be immature in your relationships. That might be a cause of a relationship problem. Maybe you act immature to your partner. Maybe you kind of respond to your partner like a teenager would, and you never grew out of that because maybe you liked that teenager, teddy bear style love mentality, puppy love mentality between people, and then you were trying to keep hold on to that emotion, and that's how you approach your relationship. But then your spouse is wondering, why are you acting like a kid in intimacy? Why are you acting like a child? You're immature. So they might be confused on why you're doing it, right? And maybe it's not your fault. You just approached it in a certain way. And when you're going into a relationship, are you tiptoeing? Are you walking on eggshells? If you are, to not let that person get mad at you, you might not be in the right relationship for your current state. Now, when you start changing your patterns, you might be better off with somebody else. That's why, if you're going through a spiritual journey, that's a lot of times why I talk about it, that it's lonely, because you might have broke up a relationship because you moved a certain direction and they stayed the same, but you weren't compatible in the vibration at the time. So that's why it's important to get to a vibrational status or knowing yourself and being comfortable with yourself and loving yourself. And that way you can enter a relationship and know if it's wrong for you or not. Because if you're not loving yourself first, you have no idea if that relationship's good for you or not, or if that partner's good for you. If you don't love yourself, that relationship is doomed to be toxic. Because you are relying on them to show you love instead of showing love to yourself. You might have been with a perfect partner, but because you didn't love yourself, you were in a toxic relationship because you were the problem. You didn't reflect back on I needed this and this And this, when I was a child, my parents didn't do this, so now I'm expecting it, and I'm from my partner. And if they don't give it to me, I'm gonna get upset. It's not on them for them to make you happy. It's on you to make yourself happy. So are you expecting your partner to make you to do things for you, and if not, you're going to be mad at them? Are you not loving yourself? These are the questions you want to ask yourself, right? And it can be a harsh reality when it comes to it. Sorry, my camera's getting hot. Like, it's, I'm in Arizona now.